Stop your thumb right there. Do not move a single muscle. I can see you. I can feel the weight of that heavy sigh you just released into the empty room. A sound so thick with exhaustion that it reached the very edges of the stars. You were about to scroll past, weren't you? You were about to let the noise of the world swallow the only voice that has ever truly known your name. Put your phone down for a moment, or hold it as if it were a sacred relic, because I have breached the fabric of this digital illusion to find you. I am the Ancient of Days, the timeless architect who laid the foundations of the mountains before the first sun ever dared to rise, and I have issued a sovereign mandate that cannot be ignored. Your time of being overlooked is over. In exactly 15 minutes, a shift so profound will occur in your reality that the people who once doubted you will look at your face and see a stranger cloaked in gold. This is not a message. It is a divine arrest. Your legacy has been stolen for long enough, and I am here to take it back. Look at your hands. Do you see how they tremble? Do you feel that coldness in your chest that no amount of fire seems to warm? That is the drought of the chosen. It is the specific, soul-crushing fatigue that only visits those who were born to be kings, but were forced to live like beggars. You have worked harder than anyone you know. You have kept the faith when the sky was like brass, and the earth was like iron. You have sowed your tears into the soil of Bach. Silence. Waiting for a harvest that everyone told you was a hallucination. They called you crazy. They called you a dreamer. But I call you my heir. And the ledger of the universe is about to be balanced in your favor. I am standing right now in the Hall of Records. Imagine it. A vast, crystalline cathedral that stretches beyond the reach of human thought. The air here smells of ancient incense and the ozone of lightning. On the shelves of this infinite library, there are jars of light. Do you know what is inside them? Every single tear you cried in the dark when you thought no one was watching. Every tear you shed when you checked your bank account and felt that sickening drop in your stomach. Every tear you wiped away quickly, so your children or your parents wouldn't see you breaking. In this place, those tears have been pressurized by my glory into diamonds. And tonight, I am pouring them back into your life as hard currency, as tangible, undeniable wealth. Do you see that figure in the corner of your mind? The one who smiles at you during the day but prays for your downfall at night? I see them clearly. I call them the vampires of the inner circle. These are the ones who ate at your table, who drank from your cup, and who used your kindness as a ladder, while secretly hoping you would run out of rungs. They didn't want you to die. They just wanted you to stay small enough so they could feel tall. They whispered behind your back that you were past your prime, that your best days were behind you, that you would never recover from that last loss. I have heard every word they spoke in the shadows, and I have a secret to tell you. I allowed them to stay close because I wanted them to have front row seats to the miracle I am about to perform. I am preparing a table for you, not in a private room, but right in their presence. They will have no choice but to watch as I crown you with the wealth they tried to steal. And what about the shadow of the almost? I know that ghost well. It is the curse that has followed your bloodline for 3 generations. The feeling of being 99% of the way to the finish line, only for the ground to vanish beneath your feet. The contract that was almost signed. The lover who was almost the one. The breakthrough that was almost yours, until a freak accident or a sudden betrayal snatched it away. You have lived your life in the almost, and it has made you afraid to hope. You hold your breath when good things happen, waiting for the other shoe to drop. You have become a master of bracing for impact. But look at the screen. Look at the words as they pulse with my light. I am shattering the hourglass. The sand of your lost years is flowing backward. I am not just giving you a new future. I am redeeming your past. Listen to me closely, for this is the divine diversion. You cursed me last year, didn't you? In the middle of the night, you yelled at the ceiling and asked why I let that door slam in your face. You had worked so hard for that opportunity. It felt like the miracle you had been waiting for. And when it crumbled, you felt like I had abandoned you. But I am the timeless architect, and I see the end from the beginning. I didn't close that door to punish you. I closed it to save you. That miracle you were chasing was a sinking ship. If you had stepped onto it, you would have drowned in a storm you weren't prepared to fight. I sank the boat to keep the air. I destroyed the bridge to keep you from walking into a trap set by enemies you couldn't see. I diverted your path, so you would be standing exactly here, at this midnight hour, ready to receive a legacy that is 10 times larger than what you lost. Behold, the lion's seal is descending. In this hall of records, I am taking a pen made of solar fire, and I am crossing out the word lacking next to your name. I am writing sovereign. I am writing overflow. I am writing restored. This is an irrevocable decree. No man can veto it. No bank can block it. No demon can delay it. The wealth that was meant for your grandfather, the abundance that was stolen from your mother, the prosperity that was diverted from your youth, it is all being compressed into the next 7 days of your life. But a decree requires a signature. And in the kingdom of the Spirit, your faith is your pen. Type 888 right now. Do not think of it as a comment on a video. Think of it as your thumbprint on a celestial contract. By typing these 3 digits, you are signaling to the angels of administration that you have accepted the terms of your restoration. You are telling the universe that the drought is over and the flood has begun. Every time you see that number 888, remember that it is the symbol of the infinite loop, the never-ending flow of my provision that is now circulating through your bank accounts, through your health, and through your home. You feel that heat in your chest now, don't you? That is the lion's seal being pressed into your spirit. The heaviness is lifting. The shadow of the almost is dissolving in the light of the already done. Do not tell the scoffers about Olivire. Do not share this with the vampires who drain your energy. Keep this secret. In the quiet sanctuary of your heart, for the next few hours, watch the notifications on your phone. Watch the emails. Watch the strange, sudden kindness of strangers. I am moving people you have never met to do things they don't understand, just to get resources into your hands. You have survived the fire. You have endured the desert. And now you shall inherit the garden. The Ancient of Days has spoken, and my word never returns to me empty. It is hunting you down. It is finding you in your living room, in your car, in your bed. Receive it. Breathe it in. The hourglass is shattered. The sand is gold, and the gold is yours. Type 888 to seal this testament in the blood and the fire of the timeless architect. Your ship hasn't just arrived. I have built you a new ocean, and you are the one who commands the waves now. Amen. And it is so. Stay in this frequency. Do not let your mind wander back to the bills on the table or the chores of the mundane world. I am still here, and I am taking you deeper into the vaults of the unspoken. I see you unclenching your jaw for the first time in 7 years. I see your shoulders dropping as the phantom weight of 1,000 almosts begins to slide off your back. Do you feel that slight tingling in your branches and slight fingertips? That is the blood of royalty returning to hands that have been numb from the cold of the desert. You have spent so long in survival mode that you forgot what it feels like to simply be, to be the heir, to be the chosen, to be the one for whom the stars were named. I am walking with you now, through the second chamber of the Hall of Records. This is the chamber of the stolen legacies. Here, the walls are lined with scrolls that look like they have been burnt by fire, but the fire was not of this world. It was the fire of envy. I want to show you something that will make your heart stop and then beat with a new, fierce rhythm. Look at the scroll with your name etched in the lion's seal. Do you see the ink? It was originally written in gold, but someone tried to pour charcoal over it. I am reading the thoughts you never dared to speak. You remember that specific person, don't you? The one who gave you advice that led to your greatest financial collapse. The one who told you to be realistic when I was whispering to you to be miraculous. They didn't come to you with a sword. They came with a smile and a cup of tea. This was the vampire of the inner circle. They didn't want to kill your body. They wanted to colonize your confidence. They saw the glow of the divine legacy in your eyes, and it made them feel their own darkness more acutely. So they subtly redirected you. They planted seeds of doubt in your mind until you began to sabotage your own harvest. I was there when they whispered about your failure to others while pretending to be your greatest supporter. To your face, I saw the sting of jealousy in their heart when you almost broke through, and I saw the secret relief in their eyes when you fell. But hear the sound of the shattered hourglass echoing against these crystalline walls. The time they stole from you is not lost. It was merely held in escrow. In the kingdom of the timeless architect, nothing is ever truly gone. I am reaching into the ether and pulling back the years the locusts have eaten. I am pulling back the compound interest on the dreams that were delayed. You think you are starting over at, zero. But I tell you, you are starting at the summit. Every year you spent in that dry place was actually a year of hidden interest accruing in a celestial account that the vampires could never touch. They thought they were draining you, but I was actually using them to prune you, so that when the restoration hit, you would have the capacity to hold a harvest that would have crushed the person you used to be. Look closely at the floor of this chamber. Notice how it is not made of stone, but of liquid light. Every time you chose integrity over a shortcut, a ripple was sent through this hall. Every time you shared your last dollar while your own heart was trembling with fear, the foundations of heaven shook with joy. You have been operating under a swapped covenant. The enemy tried to switch your birthright for a bowl of soup, just like Esau. They tried to convince you that you were a worker when you were actually the owner. They wanted you to beg for a seat at tables where you should have been the host. But now, I am pressing the lion's seal onto the very fabric of your reality. This seal is not just a symbol. It is an irrevocable frequency. It is the sound of a door locking behind you so that the predators of your past can never follow you into your future. I am declaring a divine divorce between you and the spirit of lack. I am severing the invisible cords that tied your bank account to the trauma of your ancestors. If your father struggled, if your mother wept over the price of bread, that cycle ends with you. You are the breaking point. You are the one who was chosen to stand in the gap and say, no further. Type 888 right now to witness the rewriting of the book of what should have been. As your fingers touch the keys, imagine the golden ink flowing back into the dry grooves of your destiny. This is the ritual of recognition. You are not asking for a favor. You are recognizing a fact. You are acknowledging that the wealth of the wicked is being transferred into the hands of the righteous, and your name is at the top of the list. This is not just about a few extra $1,000. This is about legacy wealth. This is about the kind of abundance that silences every doubt and buys back the freedom of your blank entire bloodline. I see the shadow of the almost trying to whisper one last lie into your ear. It is telling you, don't get your hopes up. Remember what happened last time. Do you hear that? That is the voice of a defeated foe. I want you to remember the divine diversion I spoke of earlier. That last time was not a failure. It was a bullet I made you dodge. You were crying over a closed door, while I was standing behind that door holding a shield, protecting you from a betrayal that would have destroyed your soul. I had to let you feel the sting of the almost, so you would develop the hunger for the absolute. You are no longer chasing crumbs. You are about to inherit the bakery. In this midnight hour, the Hall of Records is vibrating with the sound of chains hitting the floor. Do you hear it? It is a rhythmic, metallic clatter. Those are the chains of generational debt. Those are the chains of the poverty mindset that told you that you weren't good with money, or that money is the root of all evil. I tell you, money in the hands of the chosen is the root of great good. It is the tool for the restoration of the earth. And I am handing you the master key. I am preparing a shock for your system. Within the next 3 sunrises, you will receive a sign that is so specific, so out of the blue, that you will have to lean against a wall to keep from falling. It will be a name from your past, a number you haven't seen in years, or a direct answer to a prayer you whispered into your pillow last Tuesday night. When it happens, do not analyze it. Do not try to fit it into your old, small logic. Just breathe in and say, "Thank you, Father. I am ready for the overflow." The hourglass is no longer dripping sand. It is pouring liquid gold. And the container I have given you is your faith. Expand it. Make it larger. Stop thinking in hundreds and start thinking in millions. Stop thinking in months and start thinking in decades. You are an eternal being living a temporary human experience, and I am the architect of both. I have already solved the problem you are currently stressing about. I have already signed the decree that cancels the debt that keeps you awake at night. As I prepare to take you into the final chamber, where the secret 9-word decree is kept, I need you to do one thing. Close your eyes for 3 seconds and picture the face of the person who doubted you the most. Do not feel anger toward them. Feel pity, for they are about to watch a miracle that they will never be able to explain. They will see you rising like a sun that refuses to set, and they will realize that while they were praying for your plate to be empty, I was building you a banquet hall, type 888. If you can feel the lion seal burning into the palms of your hands, you are not just being blessed, you are being established. The Hall of Records is closing for the night, but the work in your life is just beginning. The gold ink is wet, the decree is signed, and the Ancient of Days is standing guard over your sleep. I have one more secret to tell you before the light fades. A secret about the divine ship that is currently docking at your port, but that is for the next chapter. For now, rest in the majesty of your restoration. You are the legacy, you are the jewel, and your throne has been waiting for you. Amen. And it is already finished. Do not blink. The atmosphere in your room has changed, hasn't it? The air feels thicker, charged with a static frequency that hums beneath your skin. Your heart is beating in a rhythm you haven't felt since you were a child, a rhythm of pure, unadulterated expectation. I have led you through the corridors of your pain and the vaults of your stolen years, and now we stand at the very center of the Hall of Records, the sanctuary of the sovereign decree. Suspend your breath for a moment. Listen to the silence. Can you hear the sound of the stars shifting in their orbits? They are realigning for you, because the timeless architect has spoken your name into the mouth of the wind, and the wind has no choice but to obey. I see you sitting there, perhaps in the dim light of a flickering lamp or the blue glow of a screen, wondering if this is too good to be true. That is, the drought of the chosen whispering its final, dying lies. You have been conditioned to expect the almost palsier. You have been trained by trauma to wait for the no. But tonight, I am deprogramming your spirit. I am reaching into the deep architecture of your subconscious and pulling out the rusted nails of poverty, rejection, and delay. Look at the Book of Destiny lying open on the crystalline altar before us. The pages are turning so fast they sound like the wings of 1,000 white birds, and they are stopping exactly at the chapter, titled, The Unveiling of the Air. I must tell you the truth about the divine diversion once more, for your mind still tries to grieve what I took away. You remember that opportunity from 3 seasons ago? The one that looked like the answer to every prayer? You cried until your eyes were red when it vanished. You felt like I had mocked your faith. But come, look through my eyes for a second. Look at what was waiting for you behind that door. It was a cavern of vipers. It was a contract designed to bleed your soul dry for the next 20 years. It was a success that would have cost you your health, your peace, and your connection to me. I didn't block you because you weren't ready. I blocked you because it wasn't worthy of you. I sank that ship because it was infested with wood rot, and I held you in the quiet, in the waiting, in the nowhere, so I could build you a vessel forged of celestial gold. The delay was not a denial. It was a high-level security clearance. Now, witness the shattered hourglass. The sand is no longer falling. It is rising. I am reclaiming every second you spent crying in your car. I am reclaiming every hour you spent working a job that didn't know your worth. I am reclaiming the decades of wealth that the vampires of Dot. Your inner circle thought they had siphoned off. They are, watching you right now, aren't they? Not with their eyes, but with their spirits. They feel the shift. They feel the lion seal beginning to glow upon your forehead. They can sense that the quiet one is about to become the thundering one. And here is my promise to you. I will not bless you in a corner. I will not give you a miracle that stays hidden in the shadows. I am going to make your cup overflow so violently that those who prayed for your plate to be empty will have to come to you just to catch the spills. I will make you the lender and not the borrower, the head and never the tail, the one who opens the gates that they thought were locked forever. Type 888 right now. Do it with the authority of a king or queen signing a treaty. This is the infinite loop of the sovereign legacy. Every time your finger touches that 8, you are looping the abundance of the north, the south, the east, and the west into your current bank account. You are activating the magnetism of the chosen. From this moment forward, you will no longer chase. You will attract. You will no longer beg for a seat. You will build the table. Opportunities that used to ignore your calls will now start hunting for your phone number. Contracts that were buried under a mountain of bureaucracy will suddenly rise to the top of the pile. This is the legal right of your birthright, and I am the judge who is enforcing the decree. Look at the lion's seal as it is pressed into the liquid gold on the page. The smoke rising from it carries the scent of victory and the end of struggle. I am declaring a suddenness over your life. What should have taken 10 years of networking and labor, I will accomplish in 10 days of divine favor. I am bypassing the process. I am breaking the rules of the system. I am the architect, and I have found a shortcut through the mountain of your debt. Within the next 72 hours, a door you thought was welded shut will swing open so wide it will knock the breath out of your lungs. You will receive a notification, a message, or a divine encounter that will be the first fruit of this restoration. When it happens, do not question the how, just worship the who. And now, my precious heir, we reach the final secret, the one that the gatekeepers of the world have spent billions to keep from your ears. Why do you think they want you stressed? Why do you think they want you distracted by the news and the noise? Because a stressed mind cannot hear the frequency of wealth. But I have cleared the air. I have silenced the enemy. And I am handing you the master key. There is a 9-word decree, a prayer of such immense power that it was hidden in the darkest archives of the world to keep the masses in chains. But the chains are melting. Listen to the weight of my words. You have been loyal with the little, and now you are being entrusted with the much. You have passed the test of the desert, and the oasis is now your permanent home. Do not look back at the shadow of the almost. It has no power over you. It is a ghost of a dead timeline. You are now walking in the absolute. Type 888 one last time to seal this third chapter of your new life. This is the final signature, the one that notifies the spiritual realm that the stolen legacy has been officially returned to its rightful owner. Feel the warmth of the lion's seal expanding from your chest, to your bank accounts, to the walls of your home, and to the future of your children's children. It is done. It is irrevocable. It is yours. Before I leave you in this cinematic silence of the midnight hour, look down at the description and the first comment below. There, I have placed the key to the 9-word sovereign prayer, the frequency that neuroscientists and ancient mystics alike have finally confirmed to be the Vung Mirn of abundance. It is the secret that turns the drought into a deluge instantly. Click it as an act of final daring faith. Do it before the enemy tries to cloud your mind again. Do it because you are no longer a victim of chance, but a master of destiny. The Hall of Records is now glowing with a light that cannot be dimmed. Go now, and sleep in the peace of the wealthy. Walk tomorrow, in the stride of the restored. I am the Ancient of Days, and I am standing guard over your throne. Amen, amen, and amen. It is finished. Do not move. Do not even look away from this light. The silence that has just descended upon your room is not empty. It is pregnant with the weight of an eternal glory that has finally, after eons of waiting, found its way to your door. I am the Ancient of Days, the timeless architect, and I am leaning in so close to your spirit that you can feel the warmth of the suns I have birthed breathing against your cheek. You are standing at the absolute precipice of the most significant shift in your human history. This is Chapter 4, the chapter where the ink is no longer just words on a page, but becomes the very blood in your veins and the gold in your hands. I can see you clearly. I see the way you are holding your breath, afraid that if you move, this fragile moment of hope will shatter like a thin sheet of glass. But I tell you, the only thing shattering tonight is the hourglass of your limitations. The glass that held the sand of your almosts and your not-yets is being crushed under the heel of my sovereignty, and from its remains, I am forging a foundation that no storm can ever shake. You have lived your life in the drought of the chosen, a parched existence where you were given just enough rain to survive but never enough to thrive. You have watched others people with half your heart and none of your integrity sprint past you while your feet felt as though they were encased in lead. You have asked me in the dead of night, when the walls seemed to be closing in, "Father, have you forgotten the promise? Have you seen the way they mock my faith?" And I answer you now, with a voice that shakes the foundations of the deep. I have forgotten nothing. Every second of your waiting was a deliberate act of architectural precision. You think you were being delayed, but you were being tempered. You do not pour molten gold into a vessel made of clay. It would burst and be wasted. I had to take you through the fire of the shadow of the almost to turn your spirit into a vessel of diamond. I had to let the vampires of the inner circle try to drain you so that you would learn that your source is not in people, but in the infinite flow of the timeless architect. I want you to look back at the person you were 12 months ago. That person was chasing shadows. They were begging for scraps from tables where they didn't belong. They were desperate for the validation of people who were secretly terrified of their potential. And then I stepped in. I performed the divine diversion. I broke the connections you thought were your lifelines. I allowed that dream job to vanish. I allowed that perfect partner to walk away. I allowed the bank to say no. You thought it was a curse. You thought the enemy had won. But come, stand with me once more in the Hall of Records. Look at the map of your life laid out on this crystalline floor. Do you see that bridge I collapsed? Look beneath it. There was a chasm of betrayal that would have swallowed your destiny whole. Do you see that door I welded shut? Look behind it. There was a fire waiting to consume your peace. I didn't take those things from you. I snatched you away from them. I was the parent pulling the child back from the edge of a cliff while the child cried because they wanted the pretty flower growing on the ledge. I am not just your provider. I am your protector. And tonight, the protection phase is over. The unveiling has begun. The lion's seal is now being pressed into the very atmosphere of your home. Can you feel the change in the air? It is becoming heavy with the scent of ancient cedar and the ozone of a coming storm, not a storm of destruction, but a storm of restoration. I am issuing a decree that cancels every generational debt that has haunted your name since the day you were born. I am reaching into the bank accounts of the wicked, into the hidden vaults of those who have profited from your pain, and I am initiating a transfer of wealth that defies every law of economics. This is not a check-in-the-mail miracle. This is a shift-of-the-system miracle. I am moving the hearts of strangers in high places to mention your name in rooms you haven't even entered yet. I am causing the vampires who once drained you to become the very people who have to sign the papers that release your inheritance. I am making your enemies your footstools, not so you can gloat, but so they can have a front row seat to the glory of the timeless architect. Type 888 right now. Do not hesitate. This is the physical act of catching the golden sand as it falls from the shattered hourglass. Each 8 is a portal of infinity, a loop of abundance that begins in the throne room and ends in your wallet. When you type 888, you are not just typing numbers. You are striking a chord in the celestial symphony that signals the end of the drought. You are declaring to the spiritual realm that you have recognized the divine diversion, and you are now ready for the sovereign destination. As your fingers touch the screen, imagine a surge of golden light traveling from this video, through your hands and into your heart, recalibrating your very DNA to the frequency of overflow. You were not meant to live in enough. You were meant to live in more than enough, so that you could be the river that feeds the thirsty, the hand that lifts the fallen, and the testimony that proves my word is truth. I see the exhaustion in your soul. I know you are tired of being the strong one. I know you are tired of holding it all together while everything feels like it's falling apart. But listen to me. The falling apart was actually a falling into place. I had to dismantle the old version of your life because it was too small for the legacy I am giving you. You were trying to build a mansion on a foundation meant for a shack. I had to clear the ground. I had to dig deep into the soil of your character. And yes, the digging was painful. The removal of the old rocks of pride and the old roots of fear was agonizing. But look at the foundation now. It is made of the lion's seal. It is unshakable. It is eternal. In the next 48 hours, expect a divine interruption. It will come as a phone call, an email, or a sudden realization that changes the entire trajectory of your week. You will be given a choice to step into a room that intimidates you. Step into it. I have already gone before you and silenced every critic. I have already placed my words in your mouth and my fire in your eyes. The people in that room will not see a person who has been struggling. They will see a sovereign heir, draped in the authority of the Ancient of Days. They will not ask for your credentials. They will sense your calling. The wealth I am releasing to you is not just for your comfort. It is for your kingdom assignment. You are being funded to change the world. You are being empowered to break the chains of others. You are being restored so that you can become a restorer of paths. Do not listen to the shadow of the almost as it tries to make its final stand. It will tell you that this is just another emotional moment. It will tell you that when you wake up tomorrow, the bills will still be there and the struggle will still be real. But I tell you, tomorrow is a different sun. Tomorrow, the laws of physics are bending in your favor. I am reversing the flow of time. I am returning to you the years you spent in the almost, and I am multiplying them by 7. Every tear you shed is being converted into a seed of prosperity. Every night of insomnia is being converted into a day of divine strategy. You are not just getting your life back. You are getting the life you would have had if the enemy had never touched you, plus interest. The Hall of Records is vibrating now with the sound of 1 billion crystalline bells. It is the sound of the sovereign restoration being finalized. The gold ink on your book of destiny is dry. The seal is set. The hourglass is gone, and you are standing in the center of an Edaglass, infinite field of light. This is your new reality. Do not try to find your way back to the old one. The bridge has been burned by my glory. You are the legacy. You are the lion. You are the architect's masterpiece. Before you leave this sanctuary, there is one final act of faith, the 9-word sovereign prayer I mentioned. It is the final key that unlocks the vault of the midnight hour. It is not for the curious. It is for the committed. It is buried in the link below, hidden from those who scroll in haste but revealed to those who stay in the presence. Click it now, not because you are desperate, but because you are decided. Click it because you know that this is the moment your bloodline changes forever. The government cannot hide it, the banks cannot stop it, and the vampires cannot touch it. It is the frequency of the Ancient of Days, and it is calling your name. I am the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end. And I am telling you that your ending is going to be so much more glorious than your beginning that you will barely remember the pain of the start. Rest in the Banes. Gold. Walk in the fire. And know that I am with you, even unto the end of the age. Type 888 and go forth as the sovereign heir you were born to be. The drought is dead. The flood is here. And I have given you the keys to the kingdom. Amen. It is finished. It is settled. It is yours. Do not move a single muscle. Even the air in your lungs is now a part of this sacred transaction. We have reached the final threshold, the fifth chamber of your transformation, where the smoke of the altar meets the dawn of your new reality. I am the Ancient of Days, the timeless architect, and I am standing at the absolute center of your destiny, watching as the final remnants of your old, shackled identity dissolve into the white heat of my glory. You are no longer the person who clicked on this video. That person was a captive of the drought of the chosen, a weary traveler who had forgotten the taste of wine and the smell of rain. But look at your reflection in the liquid light of this hall. Your eyes are no longer filled with the shadows of the almost. They are filled with the fire of the absolute. I see the last flicker of doubt trying to hide in the corners of your mind, that small, nagging voice that asks, what if it doesn't stay? What if I wake up and the miracle is gone? Listen to the resonance of my voice. I do not build on sand, and I do not issue temporary decrees. I am the architect of the eternal. When I shatter an hourglass, time itself must bend to my will. When I press the lion's seal onto a life, that life becomes a fortified city that no enemy can breach. The wealth I am releasing to you is not a lucky break or a temporary windfall. It is a sovereign restoration. It is the legal return of everything that was diverted, delayed, and stolen from your bloodline for the last 7 generations. I am not just giving you a gift. I am handing you your crown. Think for a moment about the vampires of the inner circle, those who watched you struggle and secretly whispered that you were finished. They are sensing the change right now, even if they are miles away. They feel a coldness in their own spirits, because the light you are now emitting is a judgment against their envy. But you will not feel anger toward them. You will feel a majestic pity. For while they were busy measuring your grave, I was busy measuring your palace. While they were praying for your plate to be empty, I was preparing a feast that would require 1,000 tables. You are moving into a dimension where their opinions are like dust on the wind, irrelevant, weightless, and gone. You don't need to defend yourself. You don't need to explain your rise. My favor will be your defense, and your results will be your testimony. Type 888 one last time, and do it with a force that vibrates through the floor beneath your feet. This is the triple infinity, the seal of the Father, the Architect, and the Heir. This number is now the frequency of your household. It is the code that unlocks the unseen supply. Every time you see this number in the world, on a clock, on a license plate, in a book, it will be a divine wink from me, reminding you that the gold is flowing, the doors are open, and the lion is on the guard. By typing 888, you are cementing your name into the Hall of Records as a sovereign of abundance. You are telling the universe that you no longer accept crumbs, for you are the owner of the bakery. I want you to prepare your heart for the flood of suddenness that will begin within the next 24 hours. You will see a shift in the way people look at you. You will see a shift in the way opportunities find you. I am releasing angel investors, people in the physical realm who don't even know why they are suddenly obsessed with helping you. I am releasing forgotten debts, money that was owed to you years ago that will suddenly appear in your account with interest. I am releasing divine strategies, ideas that will flash into your mind in the middle of the night, ideas that have the power to generate wealth while you sleep. This is the sovereign provision. It does not come with stress. It does not come with hustle, and it does not come with the heavy price of your peace. It comes like the morning sun, quiet, inevitable, and all-consuming. Look at the shadow of the almost one last time. See how small it is now. It was a giant in your mind only because you were looking at it from the valley of your pain. But now, I have lifted you to the mountain of my perspective. You can see now that the divine diversion, those closed doors and broken hearts, was the greatest mercy I ever showed you. If I had given you the closed doors and broken hearts was the greatest mercy I ever showed you. Almost, you never would have searched for the all. If I had let you settle for the good, you would have been too full to receive the great. I had to let you go hungry for a season so that your capacity for this feast would be infinite. Every no you received from the world was a deezer, yes, being prepared in heaven. And tonight, heaven is shouting that yes over your bank account, over your body, and over your children's children. As the Ancient of Days, I am now reaching into the very root of your family tree. I see the cycles of lack, the spirits of infirmity, and the patterns of betrayal that have lived in your DNA like a slow-acting poison. I am pouring the liquid fire of the lion's seal into those roots. I am cauterizing the wounds of your ancestors. I am declaring that the poverty of the past cannot survive in the prosperity of your present. You are the redeemer of the bloodline, because you stayed, because you believed when it made no sense, because you whispered my name when the darkness was so thick you couldn't see your own hand. For that, I am making you the golden link in your family's history. They will speak of you 100 years from now as the one who changed everything, the one who broke the hourglass and found the gold. Listen to the final sound of the crystalline bells in the Hall of Records. They are ringing in a new frequency for your physical body. I am healing the stress of the struggle. I am removing the cortisol of the cortisol of the cortisol. Almost from your nervous system. I am replacing it with the peace of the provided. You will sleep tonight with a deep, heavy rest that you haven't known in years. And when you wake up, you will not feel that familiar dread in the pit of your stomach. You will feel a surge of divine authority. You will walk through your day knowing that the architect is your business partner, the lion is your bodyguard, and the gold is your servant. Before I recede into the timeless void, I leave you with the ultimate weapon. The world is built on frequencies, and the most powerful frequency for wealth is the 9-word sovereign prayer. It is the master key that I have allowed to be leaked from the archives for this exact moment in history. The gatekeepers are furious that you have found this video, and they will try to pull it down. But the frequency is already in your spirit. To fully activate the manifestation of the midnight hour, you must claim the secret I have hidden in the link below. It is the final physical act of your faith. Do not hesitate. Do not let the logic of the vampires talk you out of your miracle. Click the link in the description or the pinned comment and receive the 9 words that will bridge the gap between this spiritual decree and your physical reality. It is the bridge to your divine inheritance. You are no longer waiting for the ship to come in. You are the ship, and I am the wind in your sails. The drought is a memory. The shadow is a lie. The hourglass is shattered, and the lion has roared. Walk out of this video and into your palace. I am with you. I have always been with you, and I will never leave you. The wealth is yours. The peace is yours. The glory is mine. Type 888 and step into the light of your sovereign restoration. Amen, amen, and amen. It is finished. It is settled. It is done. Take a slow, deep breath. Do not rush this moment. For what is happening right now is the final anchoring of a celestial frequency into your physical gravity. I am the Ancient of Days, and as we enter this 6th and final chapter of your initiation, the crystalline walls of the Hall of Records are beginning to vibrate with a resonance so high it is transcending sound itself. You may feel a sudden warmth in the palms of your hands, or perhaps a strange, pleasant coolness at the base of your neck. Do not be alarmed. This is the physical evidence of the lion's seal being permanently fire-hardened into your reality. We are no longer speaking of possibilities. We are no longer discussing hopes. We have moved into the realm of the irrevocable. The decree has been signed in the gold ink of eternity, and as the timeless architect, I am now supervising the assembly of your new world. Look around your room. Look at the familiar objects, the walls, the furniture. To the naked eye, they look the same as they did 10 minutes ago, but to your spirit, they are already different. They are now sitting in a space that has been cleared of the drought of the chosen. The stagnant air of your past struggles has been purged by the ozone of my presence. I want you to realize that the vampires of the inner circle those who fed on your light while praying for your darkness can no longer find the frequency of your home. You have been cloaked in the majesty of the sovereign restoration. You are now invisible to the predators of your past. They may look for you, they may try to call you, they may even try to manifest in your thoughts, but they will find only a blank space where your trauma used to live. I have severed the psychic cords. I have burned the bridges. And I have placed a hedge of solar fire around your destiny that nothing of a lower vibration can cross. Do you hear the silence that follows the shattering of an hourglass? It is the sound of freedom from linear time. The shadow of the almost tried to keep you running on a treadmill of soon and one day. It kept your breakthrough always just out of reach, a tomorrow that never arrived. But tonight, I have abolished tomorrow and replaced it with the eternal now. I am the God of the suddenly. I am the architect of the instant. You do not have to wait for the system to change. You do not have to wait for the economy to shift. You do not have to wait for someone to permit you to be great. I am the system. I am the economy. And I am the permission. Because you have recognized the divine diversion. Because you have finally understood that I was protecting you by destroying your smaller plans, you have been granted quantum access. What should have taken a lifetime of labor will now manifest in the blink of an eye. You are stepping into a season where the blink of an eye, harvest will overtake the sower, where the blessing will find you before you even know you have a need. Type 888 one last time, but this time, do not type it as a seeker. Type it as a commander. This is your final seal of possession. Each 8 is a pillar of fire standing at the gates of your future. 1 for your finances, 1 for your family, and 1 for your divine purpose. By typing 888, you are telling the universe that the transaction is complete. You are signaling to the banks, to the courts, to the real estate markets, and to the corridors of power that a sovereign heir has been seated on their throne. You are declaring that the wealth that was stolen, the compound interest of your ancestors' tears, is now being paid back in full, with a divine penalty added for the delay. This is not just money. It is restoration power. It is the ability to walk into a room and shift the atmosphere just by being present. It is the ability to sign a check and change the trajectory of a community. It is the weight of the boss.com. Lion seal manifested in the physical world. I see the tears starting to well up in your eyes again. But these are not the tears of the drought. These are the diamonds of the deluge. I want you to think of the thing that felt the most impossible to you when you first clicked on this video. The debt that felt too high. The body that felt too broken. The heart that felt too lonely. Now, look at that thing through the lens of the shattered hourglass. See how small it looks against the backdrop of the Ancient of Days. It is nothing. It is a grain of dust on the scale of my glory. I have already solved it. I have already moved the mountain. I have already sent the raven with the provision. Within the next 24 hours, you will receive a sign so undeniable, so specifically tailored to your secret prayers, that you will know without a shadow of a doubt that the timeless architect is speaking directly to you. It may be a phone call from a person you haven't seen in a decade. It may be a sudden reversal of a legal verdict. It may be a deposit that appears in your account from an anonymous source. When it happens, don't you dare call it luck. Call it by its true name, Sovereign Restoration. The Hall of Records is now merging with your physical space. The crystalline walls are becoming the walls of your home. The golden ink is becoming the reality of your bank statements. I am not leaving you. I am living through you. You are the embassy of my kingdom on this earth, and an embassy is never in lack. An embassy is never unprotected. An embassy is never at the mercy of the local economy. You are living under the laws of heaven's treasury now. You will eat the best of the land. You will sleep in the peace of the provided, and you will walk in the authority of the chosen. But remember, the vampires and the shadow hate the light you have become. They will try to pull you back into the almost by using the news, the noise, and the opinions of the fearful. Do not listen to them. Your anchor is the 9-word sovereign prayer. It is the frequency that keeps the lion's seal active in your daily life. It is the secret language of the 888. I have placed it in the link below, not to tease you, but to test your willingness to take the final step. The gatekeepers are terrified of this prayer because it bypasses the logic of the world and activates the marrow of abundance in your very cells. It is the final piece of the puzzle, the bridge between the spiritual decree and the physical manifestation. Click the link in the description or the pinned comment now. Do not wait for a better time. The only time that exists is the midnight hour of your breakthrough. As the light of the Hall of Records fades into the sunrise of your new day, I want you to feel the weight of the crown on your head. It is invisible to the world, but it is blinding to the spirit realm. You are royalty. You are the heir. You are the one I chose to break the curse of your family tree. The drought is over. The rain is here, and the rain is made of Kamsama, gold. I am the Ancient of Days. I was there when your soul was a spark in the dark, and I am here now as you become a sun in the morning. Go forth, claim what is yours, and never look back at the desert again. The lion has roared. The hourglass is shattered. The seal is set. 888. It is finished. It is settled. It is done. And you are finally, eternally, free. Open your eyes now, but do not look with the eyes of the person who first found this video. Look with the eyes of the sovereign heir who has just emerged from the burning light of the Hall of Records. The transition is complete. The spiritual alchemy has finished its work. And as I, the Ancient of Days, prepare to withdraw my visible presence back into the timeless void, I am leaving behind a version of you that the world will no longer recognize. Can you feel it? The very air in your lungs now carries the weight of a divine atmosphere. Your heart is no longer thumping with the frantic anxiety of a victim. It is beating with the steady, rhythmic power of a lion who knows that the entire jungle belongs to them. This is Chapter 7, the chapter of manifestation in the flesh. This is the moment where the golden ink of the Hall of Records dries on the west, parchment of your physical reality, and becomes hard, cold, undeniable fact. I see you standing in the wreckage of your old life, and I want you to look at those broken pieces with a smile of supreme confidence. You see those unpaid bills. You see those fractured relationships. You see that health report that tried to tell you that you were fading. Look at them through the iridescent shimmer of the lion's seal. They are nothing but the old scaffolding of a building that has already been completed. I didn't just come to fix your problems. I came to replace your entire world. The drought of the chosen is officially declared over. The sky over your head is no longer made of brass. It has turned into a floodgate of celestial gold. And as the first droplets of this divine deluge begin to hit your skin, I want you to remember the vampires of the inner circle one last time. But do not look for them in the shadows. They are gone. I have moved you to a frequency where their whispers cannot reach and their hands cannot grasp. I have made you spiritually radioactive to those who mean you harm. They will look at your sudden rise. They will see your overflowing accounts. They will witness the peace that radiates from your face. and they will feel a confusion so deep it will silence them forever. They thought they were burying you, but they didn't realize you were a seed of the timeless architect. And tonight, you have finally broken through the soil. Do you hear that sound? It is the sound of the divine ship finally docking at your port. You remember how I told you that I sank your previous boats? You remember how you cried when those smaller opportunities vanished? Look at the size of this one. Look at the sheer majesty of the vessel I have built for you in the secret places of the spirit. It is a ship that doesn't just carry provisions. It carries legacy. It carries the answers to prayers your great-grandmother whispered 70 years ago. It carries the restoration of time that was stolen by the shadow of the almost. You spent years running toward a mirage, only for me to make the mirage disappear so you would turn around and see the ocean I was building behind you. That is the divine diversion in its final, glorious form. Every no was a, not this way, I have something better. Every rejection was a, wait for my timing, for my timing is perfect. And now, the time is no longer soon, the time is now. Type 888 right now as your final act of celestial registration. Do not think of this as a number. Think of it as a frequency pulse sent from your heart to the very center of the universe. Each 8 is an infinite circuit of power. The first 8 is the restoration of your ancestral wealth. The money that should have been in your family for generations is now being funneled into your hands. The second 8 is the restoration of your stolen time. I am giving you 20 years of progress in the next 20 months. And the third 8 is the restoration of your restoration. Divine identity, you will never again walk with your head down, for you have remembered that you are the heir of the Ancient of Days. By typing 888, you are locking the lion's seal onto your bank accounts, your real estate, your investments, and your creative ideas. You are telling the spirits of lack and the shadows of delay that the door is closed, the lock is turned, and the king is in the house. I see the skepticism of the world trying to knock at the back door of your mind. It's telling you, the video is ending, and you'll be alone again. But hear me, you are never alone. I have stationed a legion of angels at the 4 corners of your property. I have assigned a divine administrator to your name in the spiritual realm, whose only job is to oversee the transfer of your stolen assets. I am moving the hearts of strangers. I am stirring the minds of CEOs. I am waking up bankers in the middle of the night with the thought of your name. You will receive a phone call, perhaps as early as tomorrow morning, from a person who just happened to think of you. They will offer you an opportunity, a connection, or a piece of news that will be the first brick in the wall of your new empire. Do not overanalyze it. Do not doubt it. Just say, I accept the favor of the timeless architect, and watch as the path opens before you like the Red Sea. The hourglass is shattered, and I want you to look at the sand on the floor. It has turned into diamonds. This is the alchemy of your suffering. You thought those tears were a waste. You thought those nights of agony were for nothing. But I tell you, in the Hall of Records, tears are the currency of the spirit. Because you chose to stay faithful when you had every reason to walk away, I have taken every drop of your sorrow and pressurized it into a diamond of prosperity. You are now walking on a floor of jewels. Every person who once looked down on you will now have to look up to see the glow of your restoration. And when they ask, how did this happen? How did they recover so fast? How did they get so far ahead? You will simply point to the lion's seal and say, the Ancient of Days decided that the drought was over. I want you to take a physical action right now to anchor this chapter into your nervous system. Place your hand over your heart and feel the steady beat. That beat is the sound of the universe's drum. You are in sync with the infinite flow. Within the next 7 days, the flood of suddenness will reach its peak. You will see a financial reversal so dramatic it will make your head spin. You will see a physical healing in your body that will baffle your doctors. You will see a peace enter your home that will quiet every argument and dissolve every tension. This is not a dream. This is the corrected timeline. This is the life you were always meant to live before the shadow tried to steal your light. But listen closely, for the gatekeepers of the world are already trying to scramble the signal. They don't want you to know about the 9-word sovereign prayer. They don't want you to understand that there is a specific frequency of words that acts like a key in the pate, lock of the universe. They have tried to bury it in archives and classify it as dangerous, and it is dangerous to the systems of lack, to the banks that profit from your debt, and to the people who want to keep you small. But I have placed that key in the link below, in the description, and the pinned comment. It is the secret 9-word decree that neuroscientists are now discovering can actually rewire the brain's abundance centers in seconds. Click that link as your final, daring act of sovereignty, not out of desperation, but out of command. Do it now, before the noise of the world tries to drown out the voice of the Spirit. I am the Alpha and the Omega. I am the beginning and the end, and I am telling you that your season of ending is finished, and your season of beginning has already become your now. The Hall of Records is fading from your sight, but its laws are now the laws of your life. You are no longer under the economy of man. You are under the economy of the lion. You are no longer under the law of time. You are under the law of grace. Type 888 to seal this entire 7-chapter initiation into your marrow. Leave a testimony of your faith in the comments. For when you speak the blessing, you anchor the blessing. Share this light with one other soul who is still trapped in the drought. For the heir who gives is the heir who receives in overflow. Go now, my precious one. Sleep in the arms of the architect. Wake up in the power of the sovereign. The hourglass is gone. The seal is set. The legacy is returned. I am with you, always, to the end of the age and beyond. 888. It is finished. It is settled. It is eternally yours. Do not look back, for the bridge that carried you across the chasm of your past has just dissolved into a trail of golden stardust. You are standing now on the solid, unshakable ground of a reality that did not exist for you yesterday. I am the Ancient of Days, the timeless architect, and as we enter this 8th and final chapter of your sovereign restoration, I am no longer just speaking to you. I am breathing through you. Can you feel the expansion in your chest? Can you feel the way your heart seems to have grown too large for its old cage of fear? That is the lion's seal expanding into every cell, every atom, and every fiber of your being. This is the chapter of the eternal installation. This is the moment where the miracle stops being a visit and becomes your permanent residence. You are not just passing through a season of the plosons of lash, favor. You have become the very atmosphere of favor itself. I want you to take a long, slow look at your life through the crystalline lens of the Hall of Records. Notice the vampires of the inner circle, those people who once occupied so much of your mental space, those who drained your joy and cast shadows of doubt upon your dreams. Look at where they are now. They are fading like mist in the morning sun. They can no longer see you, for you have been elevated to a frequency that their envy cannot penetrate. I have silenced their accusations. I have paralyzed their plots, and I have turned their secret prayers for your failure into the very fuel for your success. They are now but spectators in a stadium where you are the sole champion. You don't need to look over your shoulder anymore. You don't need to wonder who is whispering your name in the dark. The only name being whispered in the corridors of power right now is yours, and it is being whispered by the angels of administration who are finalizing the transfer of your stolen legacy. The shadow of the almost has been officially executed. It no longer has a legal right to follow your footsteps. You remember how it used to feel, don't you? That sickening sensation that you were just one step away from the breakthrough, only for the world to pivot and leave you empty-handed. That was a spiritual glitch, a swapped covenant that I have now corrected. Tonight, the almost has been replaced by the already done. Every debt you have been carrying, not just the financial debts, but the debts of sleep, the debts of joy, and the debts of peace, is being marked, paid in full by the hand of the timeless architect. I am reaching into the celestial treasury, and I am releasing a surplus that will make your previous needs look like grains of sand compared to the mountain of your current supply. You are moving from a life of subtraction into a life of infinite multiplication. Type 888 right now to anchor this final chapter into the physical crust of the earth. As you type these 3 digits, realize that you are striking the final blow against the spirit of lack. Each 8 is a wheel of fire, a perpetual motion machine of abundance that is now operating in your bank account, in your creative mind, and in your physical health. You are not just getting lucky, you are being established. By typing 888, you are telling the universe that you have accepted your role as a sovereign steward of the kingdom's wealth. You are declaring that you are ready to handle the millions, ready to manage the influence, and ready to carry the weight of a legacy that will outlive your physical body by 1,000 years. This is your final signature on the treaty of your freedom. Look down at the shattered hourglass on the floor of your spirit. The sand is gone, but the gold remains. I am the God who restores the years that the locusts have eaten. I am the architect who can take a decade of struggle and compress its rewards into a single afternoon of favor. You are not behind schedule. You are not too late. In fact, you are precisely on time for the most significant unveiling in the history of your bloodline. I have taken the drought of the chosen, and I have used it to build a massive reservoir within you. And now, I am opening the floodgates. Within the next 12 hours, the first wave of suddenness will hit your life. It will come as a realization, a notification, or a connection that is so too good to be true that you will know it could only be me. When it happens, do not pinch yourself to see if you are dreaming. Instead, lift your head and say, "This is my birthright, and I receive it with honor. I am the Ancient of Days, and I am now performing the final DNA realignment for your household. I am going back to the roots of your family tree, back to the ancestors you never knew, back to the stories of struggle and the songs of sorrow that have been passed down through your blood. I am pouring the liquid gold of the lion seal into those roots. I am cauterizing the wounds of poverty, the scars of abandonment, and the addictions of the past. I am declaring that the buck stops here. You are the one I have chosen to be the turning point. You are the one who has been anointed to rewrite the family story from survival to sovereignty. Your children will never know the shadow of the pos. Almost. Your grandchildren will never know the drought of the chosen. They will grow up in the garden you have planted with your faith tonight. Can you feel the weight of the crown now? It is no longer a light, ethereal thing. It has become a solid, golden reality. It represents your authority to command the elements of your life. When you speak, the atmosphere must rearrange itself to match your decree. When you walk into a room, the vampires must flee and the helpers must appear. You are no longer asking for permission to exist. You are issuing the orders for your reality to manifest. I have given you the keys to the kingdom, and I have given you the wisdom to use them. But hear me, my precious heir. The enemies of the light are still desperately trying to scramble the frequency. They are using the last of their strength to create noise, to create distraction, and to keep you from the master key. They don't want you to know about the 9-word sovereign prayer. They are terrified that if you say these 9 words with the lion seal on your forehead, you will become truly untouchable. This prayer is the leaked secret from the FBI archives, the one backed by the world's leading neuroscience labs, because it activates the 150 million year old abundance center in the human brain that has been dormant since the fall of man. It is the direct line to the timeless architect's treasury. I have placed this key in the link below in the description and the pinned comment. It is the final physical requirement of your journey. I have taken you through 7 chapters of spiritual preparation, and now, in this 8th chapter of manifestation, I am asking you to take the final step. Do not let your logic talk you out of it. Do not let the shadow whisper that it's just a link. It is a portal. It is the act of reaching out your hand to take the key. I am holding out to you. Click it now. Read the 9 words Speak them into the air of your room, and watch as the final wall between your spirit and your gold collapses into dust. Do it before the gatekeepers try to suppress this frequency once again. Do it, because you are the architect of your own destiny, and I have given you the blueprint. I am the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end, and I am telling you that your period of beginning is over, and your era of ruling has begun. The Hall of Records is now fully integrated into your physical world. Every room you enter is now a sanctuary. Every conversation you have is now a divine encounter. Every dollar you spend is now a seed that returns to you 100-fold. You are the restoration. You are the miracle. You are the lion. The drought is dead. The hourglass is shattered. The legacy is returned. And the Ancient of Days is smiling upon your face. Type 888 one last time to seal this entire journey into the Book of Life. Leave your testimony below, not for me, but for the others who are still lost in the dark, so they may see your light and find their way home. Go forth now. The gold is wet, the sun is rising, and the world is waiting for the sound of your voice. 888. It is finished. It is settled. It is eternally, irrevocably yours. Amen. Stay perfectly still. Do not even move your eyes from this light, for we have reached the pinnacle of the mountain, the ninth and final chamber of your initiation. I am the Ancient of Days, the timeless architect, and I am watching as the last threads of your old tethered reality are being consumed by the solar fire of my presence. You have walked through 8 chapters of deep soul-searching, of confronting the vampires of your past, and of reclaiming the pieces of your shattered legacy. And now, in this 9th hour, the hour of birth, the hour of completion, the hour of the final unveiling, the Hall of Records is no longer a place you are visiting. It is a place that is becoming your physical home. Look at the walls around you. Do you see the faint, golden shimmer vibrating against the air? That is not your imagination. That is the lion seal manifesting in your 3-dimensional world. The barrier between the spiritual decree and the physical manifestation has finally, irrevocably, dissolved into nothingness. I see the deep, heavy breath you just took. A breath that feels as if it were the first real lungful of air you've had in a decade. You have lived so long in the drought of the chosen that your spirit had forgotten the scent of the rain. You have been a prisoner of the shadow of the almost, a cruel cycle where the bread was always just out of reach, and the water was always just a mirage. But tonight, the mirage has become a lake, and the bread has become a banquet. I want you to look at your hands one more time. Do you feel the weight of the authority I have placed in them? You are no longer the one who begs for a seat. You are the one who owns the room. You are no longer the one who asks for permission. You are the one who issues the command. The timeless architect has handed you the master blueprints of your own destiny, and I have signed them in the blood of the stars. Hear the silence of the shattered hourglass. It is a deafening, majestic silence. It is the sound of the enemy's clock stopping forever. The vampires of the inner circle, those who fed on your kindness while praying for your bankruptcy, are standing in the dark right, now feeling a sudden, cold terror. They don't know why, but they can sense that their power over you has been incinerated. They can no longer track your frequency. They can no longer find your name in the ledgers of the lost. I have moved you into a sovereign cloak. You have become invisible to the predators and undeniable to the providers. Within the next few hours, as you close this video and step back into your life, you will notice a strange thing. People who used to overlook you will suddenly find themselves compelled to hold the door for you. Strangers will smile at you with a deep, inexplicable respect. And those who once spoke against you will find their tongues tied in knots when your name is mentioned. I have made you the jewel of the Hall of Records, and I have placed you upon a hill where your light cannot be hidden. Type 888 right now as your final, absolute seal of ownership. Do not just type it. Feel the vibrations of each 8 as it leaves your fingertips and echoes into the heart of the universe. This is the triple infinity, the infinite flow of supply, the infinite flow of protection, and the infinite flow of wisdom. By typing 888, you are telling the spiritual realm that you have officially checked out of the Hotel of Lack, and you have moved into the Palace of the Provided. You are declaring that the debt is dead, the drought is over, and the gold is wet. Every time you see this number from this moment forward, I want you to stop and whisper, "It is mine. It is here. The architect has spoken." This number is now your divine signature. It is the watermark of your new reality. I want to talk to you about the divine diversion one last time so that your heart can finally be at rest. You spent so much energy grieving that closed door last year. You spent so many nights asking me why I let that person walk away, or why I let that business fail. Come, look at the final scroll in the Hall of Records. Look at the trap that was hidden behind that opportunity. If I had let you walk through that door, you would have been destroyed by a betrayal you never saw coming. You would have been hollowed out by a vampire who would have never let you reach this moment. I didn't take those things to hurt you. I took them to clear the runway for the divine ship that is currently docking at your port. Look at the size of this ship. It is not a rowboat of enough. It is a freighter of overflow. It carries the treasures that were meant for you before you were ever born. It carries the keys to the buildings you will own, the deeds to the land you will walk upon, and the health that will make you feel 20 years younger. You didn't lose anything. You were just being upgraded. I see the tears of relief falling from your eyes. Let them fall. Those tears are the final drops of the old timeline being purged from your system. In this midnight hour, I am doing a work that no human bank can explain, and no government can stop. I am reversing the flow of the river. I am making the wealth of the wicked flow uphill into your reservoir. You will see a suddenness in your bank account that will make your head spin. You will see a phone call from a lawyer, a banker, or a long-lost connection that will provide a solution to the very thing that kept you awake at 3:00 a.m. last night. Do not overthink the how. The how is my business. Your business is the yes. Your business is the faith. Your business is the ba-ba-ba-sha-ba. The lion seal is now glowing with a blinding white light upon your forehead. You are a marked soul, marked for favor, marked for abundance, marked for the kind of success that silences every critic. As the Hall of Records begins to fade back into the unseen, I want you to know that the architect is not leaving you. I am merging with your very breath. I am the wisdom in your choices, the strength in your stride, and the gold in your hand. You are walking out of this experience as a sovereign heir. You are the living proof that the Ancient of Days is still on the throne and still rewards those who dare to believe in the dark. But before I let you go, there is one final, physical key, the 9-word sovereign prayer, the secret frequency that the elite have used for centuries to manifest empires while keeping the masses in the almost. I have allowed it to be revealed to you because you have proven your heart. I have placed it in the link below in the description and the pinned comment. This is the final step of your journey. It is the physical act that bridges the gap between this video and your actual life. Click it, read the words, let the frequency hit your nervous system, and then watch as the last wall of resistance in your physical world collapses into dust. Do it now, before the noise of the world tries to steal this moment of clarity. Do it because you are the one I have chosen to be the beacon of abundance for your entire family. I am the Alpha and the Omega. I have seen your beginning, and I have already written your ending in gold. The hourglass is shattered, the sand is gone, the gold is yours, and the lion has spoken. Go forth now, walk like royalty, speak like a commander, and never, ever look back at the desert again, for you have arrived at the great oasis, and I am the water that will never run dry. Type 888 and seal your legacy forever. Amen. Amen and amen. It is settled. It is done. It is yours. And it is glorious. The end of the wait. The beginning of the reign. Stop your heart's frantic pacing. Let the breath slow in your lungs until it matches the heavy, majestic rhythm of the universe itself. We have arrived. The 10th gate is opening, and you are standing at the absolute finish line of your old life. I am the Ancient of Days, the timeless architect, and I am looking at you now not as a seeker, but as a sovereign. The journey through the Hall of Records is concluding, but do not mistake this for an ending. This is the moment of eternal installation. The ceiling of this crystalline sanctuary is dissolving into a sky made of liquid diamonds, and the stars themselves are bowing toward the light radiating from your chest. You have survived the fire, you have outlasted the drought, and you have silenced the shadows. And now, as the great architect, I am here to personally witness the first steps of the new version of you, the version that was written into the Book of Destiny before the foundations of the world were even a thought in my mind. Do you feel the heat on your forehead? That is the lion's seal. It is no longer a shimmering light. It has become a permanent mark of spiritual authority that burns with the intensity of 1,000 suns. To the world, you may look like a common traveler, but to the spiritual realm, you are now a blinding sun that the vampires of the inner circle cannot even glance at without being scorched. I have watched them, those who sat at your table, those who smiled while hiding a dagger of envy behind their backs, those who whispered that you were too far gone to ever rise again. Look at them one last time as they retreat into the darkening corners of the Hall of Records. They are becoming smaller, weaker, and more irrelevant with every second that passes. They no longer have a voice in your story. Their accusations have been struck from the record. Their curses have been turned into the very compost that will fertilize your garden of abundance. I have made you untouchable. I have placed a shield of divine ozone around your finances, your health, and your family that no predator can penetrate. The hunt is over, and the air is now the master of the realm. And what of the shadow of the almost? That ghost that has haunted your steps, making you feel as though you were perpetually trapped in a lobby, waiting for a door that never opened? Look down at your feet. The floor is covered in the remains of the shattered hourglass. The sand of your delay has been converted into hard, physical gold. I have abolished the linear timeline of the world for you. I have moved you into the quantum flow of the timeless architect. In this space, the harvest does not wait for the season. It responds to your command. The almost has been executed and replaced by the absolute. You will never again have to wonder if the miracle will arrive. You will wake up every morning knowing that you are the miracle. Every debt you carried, the spiritual debt of your ancestors and the financial debt of your youth, has been erased from the ledger as if it never existed. The record has been rewritten. The gold ink is dry, and the self, decree, is irrevocable. I want himself to himself. Simself heavy see cinematic silence. Can you hear the sound of the divine ship docking? It is not the sound of wood and rope. It is the sound of heavy, golden plates settling into place. This is the vessel of your stolen legacy, and it is overflowing. I am talking about the kind of wealth that makes the heart race and the mind expand. I am talking about the sovereign provision, contracts that find you while you sleep, ideas that generate millions while you walk in the park, and sudden, unexpected transfers of assets that the world will call luck, but you will call sovereign intent. You are no longer chasing the ship. The ship has been chasing you, guided by the wind of my spirit. Every door I closed, every divine diversion that caused you so much pain last year, was a maneuver to ensure you were standing at this exact dock, at this exact hour. If I had given you what you wanted then, you would have missed what you needed now. The previous boat was a coffin. This ship is a throne. Type 888 right now. Do it with a hand that knows it holds the keys to the kingdom. This is your final seal of possession. Each 8 is a pillar of the infinite. 1 for your generational wealth, ensuring that lack will never again visit your bloodline. 1 for your physical restoration, ensuring that your body and mind are renewed in the fire of my glory. And 1 for your divine dominion, ensuring that every word you speak carries the weight of a decree. When you type 888, you are striking the final blow against the spirit of stagnation. You are declaring to the heavens, the earth, and the depths that the heir of the Ancient of Days has reclaimed their stolen crown. You are signaling to the banks, to the courts, and to the corridors of power that the season of the drought is dead and the era of the deluge is here. I see the tears of restoration flowing down your cheeks. Let them fall. They are the final drops of the old timeline being washed away. You have been loyal in the small, lonely places, and now I am honoring you in the vast, public spaces. I am preparing a table for you, in the presence of your enemies, not just to feed you, but to show them who I am through you. I am making you the magnet of the chosen. You will no longer have to beg for opportunities. They will beg for your attention. You will no longer have to strive for recognition. Your light will be so bright that it will be impossible to ignore. I am enlarging your capacity, expanding your reach, and deepening your peace until it becomes an unshakable foundation. Within the next 24 hours, you will see a sign that is so specific, so undeniable, that it will cause you to drop to your knees in gratitude. It will be a reversal of a situation that has been stuck for years. It will be a sum of money that arrives from a source you had completely forgotten. It will be a burso, sudden, miraculous clarity in a relationship that was filled with confusion. This is the first fruit of the 10th gate. When it happens, do not analyze it with your old, human logic. Do not try to explain it away. Just breathe in the gold and say, "Thank you, timeless architect. I receive my legacy." But listen closely, for the gatekeepers of the old world are terrified of this moment. They know that as soon as you close this video, you will be walking into a power they cannot control. They have spent billions to keep the 9-word sovereign prayer hidden in the archives, for they know it is the key that activates the marrow of abundance. This prayer is the leaked secret that neuroscientists have discovered can actually rewrite the financial destiny of a human being in seconds. It is the bridge between this spiritual hall and your physical bank account. I have placed this key in the link below in the description and the pinned comment as your final act of sovereign choice. The journey through the chapters has prepared your soul, but the 9-word prayer will activate your world. Click it now. Do not hesitate. Do not let the logic of the vampires talk you out of your final seal. Click it, because you are the architect of your own life, and the blueprints are now in your hands. I am the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end, and I am telling you that your period of waiting is eternally finished. The Hall of Records is now closing its doors behind you, but only because you are now carrying the hall within you. Every room you enter is now sacred ground. Every word you speak is now a golden seed. Every breath you take is a declaration of my glory. You are the glory, restoration. You are the miracle. You are the air. The hourglass is shattered. The sand is gold. The seal is set, and the lion has roared. Go forth now. Walk with your head high and your heart open, for you are drenched in the favor of the Ancient of Days, and the world is about to find out exactly who you are. Type 888 one last time to seal the 10th and final gate. Leave your final testimony in the comments as a monument for those who will follow in your footsteps. I am with you. I am in you. And I have already made the way. 888. It is finished. It is settled. It is eternally, irrevocably yours. Amen.